Welcome back, friends. This side Sonia here. Today I have this wall clock and I thought I should alter this. Now, it's an old wall clock and I think the mechanism is not working, and it was actually a scrap piece from one of my cousin's place, and I thought of altering this. So I don't want to use this as a wall clock, and before working on it I need to actually unassemble this so that I can remove all the mechanism and I can work on the inner surface of this clock. So I'm going to remove all the nuts. This is actually the very first time that I am opening a wall clock. I have never ever done this before, and I had no idea that it has this kind of base and niches beneath this. Oh god. Okay, so from outside it looks like a pane, but it's actually a paper, and this is awesome. Okay, so now I will keep all these stuff aside because I need to okay. Now I'm going to keep this mechanism on this side. This is not working, so I'm sure I'm not going to use this. I'm not sure about this. I might use this on my project. Let's see. Okay, so here is my base, and now I need to do some really nice decoupage work on this. But first I need to also check that how much space I actually have if I am having some embellishments. So if you see my glass stucks here, my glass is going to stuck here on this border, and I have approximately 3/4 inch space to work. So I'll to be on a safer side, I'll consider as a half inch space only, so that I can make sure that I use the flowers, the beads, and whatever stuff I want of half inches only, and accordingly I will have to plan it out. Let's get started. Now to start with, this particular clock did not had any hook outside. It has just a niche to put up your nail, like to hang it on the nail. So what I've decided is that I'm going to add this twine to it, and I'll just leave a single hanging kind of thing at the back, so that later on if I want to add some twine and hang it from the wall or in some way, then I can use it. So what I'll be doing is I'll just make a nice knot of this. and I will hang it from inside. I'll just make sure that I have a proper nice good knot. Okay, and a double knot just to make sure that it ties really well to this. One more knot here. And one more, and now this is ready. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull this out from this gap and I will fix it here. Now this is just going to be my backup hanging strip in case if I want to hang it along the wall. I don't want to fix it to the nail. I'm not at all sure that how I'm going to use it, so for the time being I have put up this. Let's see if this will be useful later on. I think I have decided on what all I'm going to use in this. So basically I'm going to make this frame for Vanya. This is one of her childhood pic and I love this pic, and I thought why not to have this on this clock frame. So what I am going to do is I'm going to use that picture later on because I need to do lots of work in this. I'm still not very sure what all I'm going to use. It's only like once I start working on it I will be able to decide. Now to cover this up I'm going to use a black color cardstock. Now why I need to cover this, because if you see this has a niche and this is the hook space for hanging, and I'm not at all sure that where I'm going to hang it, how I'm going to have this frame. So I thought it's better to cover up this area. I don't want to do the complete coverage because anyways I'll be using my pattern paper on the top of it. So this is just a basic blocking area kind of thing. So I am going to use this black color cardstock and I will be sticking this with my glue gun. So I think I need to wait. Okay, now I'll start sticking this, and I'm going to use my black color cardstock and my glue gun. So I'll just put 4 dots on each corner. Like I said, this is just a temporary backing. I don't need to have too much of glue or adhesive here. And now I'll stick this. Okay, now this is done, and now it's time to stick my pattern paper. This is one of the beautiful pattern paper from DCWV. I just made a circle cutting and I'm going to stick this. Now my hook is here, so I've already marked it with a marker. This is going to be my top portion, which is going to be the hook area. Now I'm going to stick my pattern paper to this, and again I am going to use my glue gun. I'll make a nice big circle so that I can stick it really well on my frame. A bit of glue at the center, and I know which is going to be my top area, so I'm going to stick it accordingly. Okay, now this was super easy. I don't intend to color the borders because I'm happy with the white shade, and now I am going to use my picture here. Now before I stick my picture, I need to prep up my layout so that I know where exactly I'm going to stick what all stuff. Here is a wooden embellishments. It's a honeycomb design, and I have been like keeping this since long, and I think it's high time to use this particular piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this here with my picture, and let me see, let me think how I am going to have this. I am going to cut all these flowers in small sizes so that I can use this on my project. I'm not going to use the complete big size flowers with the twine, so I'm just cutting all the small pieces out there. And I love these pretty paper flowers. They are super cute and they look really awesome. and I love flowers. If you see my garden, it's full of plants and flowers, and I love having them. And I always feel that flowers, they add some extra, some little more charm to your project, which is always required. Okay, so here a few of the flowers. Maybe I need to add some more of green color flowers, maybe, because I've decided to use more of yellow and orange color at the background. Yes, I'm going to add some more shades here for sure, because if it's a frame for Vanya, it has to be colorful, because she is such a color loving person. She is not like typically pink girl. She loves all the shades, she loves all the colors, and I love having all the shades in her frame. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my stencil and my modeling paste. So as you see that my background has a very fine font, so I decided to use this one, this nice big bubble stencil, and I'm going to use my modeling paste. Let me just clear all these stuff. Let me keep this aside. I'm not at all a glue gun person. I have very recently started using this on my project especially, so I always keep on hurting myself and I really hate that, but I need to learn this. I need to learn how to use and manage my glue gun too. So like I said, I am going to use this MDF cutout here, so I'm going to make sure that I cover up this area and bit of this area also. So mostly I need to work on this half circle. So here is my modeling paste, and I am going to use this here. Like I said, I am not at all particular that how this should be, because I just want to do some random covering here and there. These are going to be my fillers, and or maybe I can do it like this. Some more of stencil work. Oops. Some more of stencil work. Maybe here. Yeah, here I can have. Even if it smudges, it's absolutely fine, because this is just going to be on my background. And with my palette knife, I am definitely going to cover some extra spaces here and there and make sure that my base looks pretty full. I'll do some random spreading here. This is actually going to have my colors on it, and this will look good. Okay, now with this my modeling work is done. I need to give it a quick dry and I'll be back. Here I'm done with my drying process, and now it's time to add some pretty shades to it. So here I'm using my sweet pumpkin, and I am going to use this citrus yellow, and I'm going to give it first. Maybe I think I should use this orange shade. And now I'm going to add my yellow mist to it. and this is definitely going to add some extra layer of coloring to it. With this I am going to blend my chestnut shade, and I'm just going to make sure that it sprinkles well. And with this I am going to have my plain water spray. I just want this to smudge really well on my complete layout. Adding water is optional. I did not wanted a very darker shade on my base. That's the reason I am using this shade, and I just want this to spread randomly, which was not possible without water. So this is how it is looking, and I'm going to add some more yellow shades here and there. This is just to cover my white area. Now again I'll give it a quick dry and I'll be back. Now my base has dried out completely and it's just looking fab. You can see the nice colors it has, the brown, the orange and the tinge of yellow at the borders. And now it's time to stick my picture and start working with this. Now I have already pre-cut these two cardboard pieces which I'm going to use at the back of my photograph, and while just doing this I thought why not to add one more layer, and can I add this nice sheet to it? And yes I can, and I think I will cut this immediately. And I will just give it a cut so that I can use this net piece on my project. I have been like using net since like few days a lot, and I love the way it gives an extra drama and some special effect to your project. And what I'm going to do is I will start sticking from the center. I will stick this well and just give some dots here and there so that it sticks well to the base, and I can cut the remaining areas. I really don't need to stick it very hard on my page, because anyways I'm going to have so many layers and texture that it will not be that visible, but it is going to add a bit of drama to my project. Now I'm going to remove, like cut all the extra portions, and I don't need to be very particular. I'm just going to do some random cutting, because this has to give a nice shabby chic effect and a mixed effect, not a shabby chic, in fact just a mixed effect on my project. So somewhere it will be covering my layout, the background, and somewhere it will be as it is. It will overlap with my flowers and my MDF cutouts too. Okay, now this is looking pretty good. Now what I am going to do is I'll start sticking with my picture and my MDF stuff. Now for that, first I need to stick my MDF piece, and I think this position is good. So what I am going to do is I'm going to stick this really well with help of my glue gun. So like I said, this is my top portion and I want my picture to have really straight figure. And now I'm going to stick my picture. Now for my picture, I am going to have these two cardboard pieces beneath that. I've already shown this earlier that the reason why I add this is to give a nice 3D effect, a more depth to your photograph, a more pop out thing to your photograph. So this is actually a magical way to give nice depth and effect to your projects. Now I just want to make sure that I do not forget that which one is my top portion, because I really don't want my picture to hang in some random way. So Now what I am going to do is I'll be sticking my picture here. Okay, so this is how my picture is going to be here. Okay, so once I'm done with this, I have decided on this sentiment, bundle of joy, and I am going to have this on the center. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to stick this first, and I'm going to make sure that I have a nice texture on the top of it. So I will just put this thick layer of glue gun. I will let this dry, so this can also act as my 3D effect for my sentiment. And now again I'm going to put one layer of glue gun, and I'm going to stick this on my MDF piece. Now okay, this looks good. I just need to add some more glue gun here. Yeah, okay, so with this my base and everything has sticked really well, and now I need to assemble my flowers and I need to stick them. So I'm going to have a nice combo of flowers here. I've already pre-cut this, like I showed you. I did the back cutting, and now I'm going to add these on my project. For the leaves, I did not want to add anything extra, so I have these pretty flower bunches which I'm going to stuck in between. So what I will be doing is I'll start this ones first, so that I have my base leaf and the flower bunch, and then I am going to stick my loose flowers. I am not going to add too much of these flowers because I want it to be much more colorful. I'm just cutting the extra portions from here. So I'll start sticking this. Okay, and now I'm going to start sticking my flowers. I'll focus more on green color because I think those are going to get a really good give a really good nice highlight to my project. So I'll be using greens a little more because I'm just trying to arrange all the flowers and see that how it looks. And now when the sticking work is done, I need to really add something extra on my edges, and these are shaker elements, and I'm going to stick these with the help of my liquid adhesive. Now this is just to pop out a bit of color, so that's the reason I'm using more of brown color, and I'm just going to stick this here and there, and this is going some little extra to add actually some little charm to my project. So I'm just adding my liquid adhesive, dots of my liquid adhesive, and I'm going to make sure that I even stick them really well. Now I'll pick some on my cap and I'll start sticking these. You can even just sprinkle this and have all the shades here, but I love picking up individual pieces and sticking this. It is fun. If you have time and you want to give some extra touch to your project, it is really fun. It's time to assemble my frame. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my glass first, and oops. Then I'm going to keep my frame here. I'm going to put it upside down. Now everything has been stuck really well with my glue gun, so I just need to make sure that I put this just on the top of these holes. So here is my frame ready, and I'm super happy with this. So I'm listing down all the supplies down in the description box. Do check that, and if you have any queries, please do comment below, and thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.